session, we're going to talk about building beautiful backgrounds for your mobile apps. You might have seen beautiful backgrounds in various mobile apps and wondered how do we do this. I'm going to show you a technique where you don't have to know any image manipulation program to build these beautiful backgrounds using gradients. So let's see how it looks like. Then I'm going to walk you through how to do it. So if you look at this app here, I have a beautiful background here, and this is not an image. It's actually coming from a CSS file, and I'm going to show this another background here, and this is also coming from a CSS file. So here I have not created any image for a background. I'm just getting this from CSS. So I'm going to show you how quickly we can do this without actually using an image manipulation program. So if you can see this, I have this library called Magic Gradients. This is actually a NuGet package here. This is based on Skia Sharp, and which is now maintained by Google. Thanks to Google for this providing this NuGet. So I'm going to show you what steps you need to do to quickly get going with this Magic Gradients. So I have this Xamarin project open here. Let me zoom this a little bit so you can see. Yeah. So I have this Xamarin project going here. If you can see, I have three projects. One is the common project, and another one is the Android and iOS projects. So for the common project, you go ahead and add this NuGet Magic Gradients, as you can see here. And once you have added that project, you just have to create a control template. Let me show you how that is done. So if you can see my screen here, I have this control template created here. Let's create a new one for this session. Now this structure here, right? This structure here is available in the documentation for the NuGet. So let me show you that here. So if this is the documentation for this NuGet package here, and if you scroll down, this structure is available, and then you can use this copy paste structure, and then you will have a control template with you. So here I copy pasted this. So before I actually jump into this, I want to show you, first thing is you have to add a namespace for Magic Gradients, which is just the namespace and the assembly name. Once you have done it, you get this namespace called Magic, and then you use the control template to build it. So let's copy this control template. I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to show you a fresh page for the background. I have this ready here. Let's call this fresh page, or fresh background. Yeah. Now the next thing is to select a background. Okay, so there is a website here which I go to for selecting the CSS background. Let me show you. That's called Magic Gradients. Let me show you that. So this is gradientmagic.com, and if you can see, there are a lot of different kind of gradients here. There are a lot of gradient collections here. I like the abstract squares a lot, so let's take this abstract squares, and then if you look at this abstract squares, right, let me lift this up. Yeah, you can actually rotate this so the way you want to look at, and this is how, I think, when you just resize this, you can, this is how it look like in your app. And if you don't like the colors, you can always change. Suppose I don't like this white here, I'm going to make it gray. I'm going to make it C. It becomes gray now. So, and then if I don't like this style, I can just rotate this, make it look better. Okay, you have to do a little bit trial and error to get it right. Yeah. So once you have this ready, copy the CSS and then paste it in your Xamarin Forms project. So let me show you that. So here I have this. I create this control template, and I'm going back to this the gradient that I just created. I'm copying the CSS using this button here, and then I'm going back here and then pasting it here. So let me paste this here, removing the semicolon. Removing this background image, we don't need this, and saving it. So I have my gradient ready. Now I have to apply this to a new page. So let's go ahead and create a fresh XAML page. Let's go here. Let's go add this. Let's call it fresh background. Okay, now I have a fresh, clean page here. So if you look at this, I already added a control template here. It's called, I called it new gradient. It's actually fresh gradient. So let's call it fresh gradient. And then I added a title, and let's make this horizontal options equals to center, and then the margin of 10. Okay, and I already added, so I have this fresh gradient. So in this control template here, I added this fresh background. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it here. Okay, I have this fresh background ready. Now what I do is I have to invoke this from my main page. So I go to main page. I'm gonna create a new button called fresh background. I'm gonna create let's call it fresh background. I'm gonna make this background. I'm gonna call this fresh. It's calling a new event handler, so let's do that. So I'm gonna copy this, paste it here. It's more of a copy paste than a coding session here. So yeah, paste it here. And the only thing I need to change is the name of the file, which is fresh. That's it. So I have this file ready. I have the thing ready. Let's compile this. And let's run and see whether it works or not. Yeah, I have this. So I have this fresh background button here, as you can see. And when I click this, I can see the background getting generated dynamically using the CSS instead of me putting an image. There are I think there's some cool stuff you can do here. If you have this hot refresh enabled, you can just play around with the gradient. So what you can do is you can actually go here, change the gradient. For example, I'm here, I don't like this shape here, so I'm gonna go back and select a different gradient, copy the CSS, go back to this again, paste it, kill this one, save this, and then voila, it changes. So you don't have to really rebuild again because of this hot reload that I installed. You can directly refresh, save this app.xamarin, and it refreshes here. That's all for this session. Thank you so much.